Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow.
Take the message, everybody.
Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better take warning.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good night. Good night to all of you. Wherever you are, whether you are in Guyana, whether you are in the Caribbean, whether you're in the United States of America, wherever you are, we cannot forget the folks in the United Kingdom. those people are some special kind of people. Now, when I say special kind of people, I really do mean that in a good way, because they are 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So the time right now in the UK is what time? 1 o'clock, right? Is it 1 o'clock in the UK? And they stay up every single night just to watch these shows. And so we just want to say a very, very special good night to all of the people in the UK. If you are in the UK, you might as well say that you are. It's 2 a.m. Thank you, Carl Miller. Carl Miller always thinks he knows it all. We're going to have to ban him, right? Brennan Thompson, they feel they know it all. They know I made an error. They can't wait for me to correct it. Desiree Chapman, all of you guys feel you know it all. Sandra Goodluck Simple, all of you guys think you know it all. Just didn't give me a chance to just say, hey guys, I made an error. Thank you guys so much, though. We're a family here on 107.1 FM. I know you guys mean well, and just accept a little bit of humor there from me, because these are trying times. Right, Onika Light? These are trying times. People bumps race quickly. People get jittery. All manner of things happening right now in Guyana. You know what I mean, right? All manner of things are happening in Guyana, and these things only happen, for the most part, these things only happen when the corrupt PPP regime is in office. Are you guys reading between the lines, right? All of you guys know this. We don't have to keep repeating it. Very bad things happen when the PPP regime is in office. These people are the most corrupt set of people in the world. They are corrupt. They know who they are. Drug dealing, money laundering, gold smuggling, right? Otto Martin, good night to you, sir. All of you, get your popcorn tonight. If you got to credit your popcorn, if you can't afford it, we will purchase it for you right here on 107.1 FM. If you don't have sufficient money to buy your popcorn and your drinks for tonight, message Dr. David Hines. They may be able to sponsor something for you. Message Wayne Caesar. He may be able to sponsor something for you. Message someone. Message them. Message them. Okay, good. All right. Good. Popcorn. How many of you guys get your popcorn? We're ready to rock and roll this evening, because it's about to go down, if you know what I mean. And when I say that, I'm not saying that in a Joe Hamilton voice. No, I'm not. But it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Tell your friend, turn to your neighbor, and tell them it's about to go down. Not Joe Hamilton way, not the kind of Joe Hamilton going down, but it's about to go down. Good night, Claude Biram, and all of you. Every single one of you. What is it? What is it that you guys want us to talk about right now to start the opening batting? What do you guys want us to talk about right now? Jamal Aziz, Beatrice Selby, all of you. What should I start talking about? I'm going to read your comments. But before that, here it is. Attorney at law Nigel Hughes has asked a pertinent question. And this is Nigel Hughes. This is his post. Nigel asked this question, asking for a friend. Will the Paper Shorts murder investigation remain a cold file? And this is an important question. Thank you so much. Nigel Hughes, attorney at law, is asking this question, asking for a friend. Will the Paper Shorts murder investigation remain a cold case or a cold file? Well, now, thank you so much for that question, Nigel. And that question is important because it is apparent that senior members of the Guyana police force are involved in a cover-up of that murder. And Nigel Hughes is asking a simple question. Will it remain a cold case, a cold file? Is that what it's all about? Many of you know Paper Shorts was murdered, those of you who know him, but he was murdered in front of Palm Court. He was said to be an affiliate, a friend of Roger Kahn. And you know, Roger Kahn was convicted of drug selling in the United States of America. And so he's back in Guyana. Some people are saying, including Roger Kahn, that the bullets were meant for him. Roger Kahn said that the bullets were meant for him. And so, according to a detective, Detective Bascom said that this guy, Azraddin Mohammed, was a suspect. And the police did not arrest nor question him. Along with Azraddin Mohammed, this other guy who at the time was a security, working security for the Mohammeds. We're told that he's no longer there. He's moved on to other stuff. We're also told that now here's where we gotta be. Here we're going. We're told that he's connected to the acting, or at some point in time, he was connected to the acting commissioner of police. This guy, Mark Richmond, we are told, was connected to the acting commissioner of police. And the acting commissioner of police must say what is the relationship with him and this guy, whether there's a family connection or not. And the family connection at that point in time of the allegations leveled against this guy, Mark Richmond, that he was part of that murder on the night, he participated allegedly in the murder of Paper Shorts. Now, the acting commissioner of police, who is a friend of Azraddin Mohammed, has to say to the public whether there was at that point in time a connection between his family and Mark Richmond, a suspect. That's what the Commissioner of Police should be answering. The next question that the Commissioner of Police acting, Clifton Hicken, should say whether his U.S. visa was revoked. That's one, whether his U.S. visa was revoked. And if, in fact, his U.S. visa was revoked, under what circumstances? Let the Commissioner of Police acting issue a statement. Let the Commissioner of Police acting also say what is his connection, what is his relationship between the Mohammeds, Azraddin Mohammed, and himself. These are questions that need to be answered, and the acting Commissioner of Police should be answering those questions. There are other senior members of the Guyana Police Force who should be answering those questions as well. Their connection to the Mohammeds, whether they are in the pockets of the Mohammeds or not, because eventually those things will come out at some point in time. And this is not to say that overseas international law enforcement agencies, particularly those agencies in the US, might not have already gotten that information. In other words, they probably know everything by now. But what the public needs to know is whether you have an acting commissioner of police who is acting on your behalf, or is he acting on behalf of other individuals of the underworld folks, drug lords, and so forth and so on. That is what he has to answer. He also has to say what's his relationship with Azraddin Mohammed, the Mohammeds, and whether he has ever taken any bribe from the Mohammeds. That's all. That's all I wish to say at this point in time concerning the acting commissioner of police, Clifton Hicking. His relationship with this guy, also, this guy, Mark Richmond, who is said to be, I'm not sure whether he's still a suspect, but this matter was not investigated. Hicken has to say whether he pulled the plug on these investigations. If in fact he pulled the plug on the investigations, then under what circumstances did he pull the plug? Why did he pull the plug? What we do know is that there was a press conference, and at that press conference, lots of things were covered up. At the police press conference, lots of things were covered up. Lots of things were covered up. We're not sure why, but again, and I hope some press folks out in Guyana would be able to ask the Commissioner of Police whether, and it's just a question, mind you, whether this guy, Mark Richmond, was he ever the son-in-law of the acting commissioner of police? That's the question, whether this guy was ever his son-in-law. That is what he needs to know. That is what needs to be confirmed. You know, we're getting some information, mind you, but I don't want to keep going on with this. The commissioner of police, the acting commissioner of police, has to answer that question. And at the time of the murder of this guy, Paper Shards, whether there was that family connection between the suspect, Mark Richmond, and Hicken, who happens to be the acting commissioner of police, and what's his relationship with the Mohammeds. Maybe we'll get somewhere with that. But good night and welcome again to this Straight Up program on 107.1 FM. Lots of things happening in Guyana. And guess what? These guys who are oftentimes, when you guys remember, when the enablers in Brooklyn took this guy, this Paku, as we would say, for a walk around certain businesses on Church Avenue and on Flatbush Avenue. And so many people have kept away from some of those businesses, continue to walk straight by those businesses. Continue to walk straight by them. When this guy reached back to Guyana, he was so upset. You saw his facial expression and all manner of things. He held an immediate press conference or an address to the nation right away, because people were calling for those businesses in Brooklyn that enabled him to be boycotted. And so he got upset. Right away, he addressed the nation. And I don't know why they are boycotting those businesses in Brooklyn and why this and why that. But now with this revelation coming from the U.S. State Department and others, the U.S. State Department and others and other agencies, Irfan Ali is quiet as a mouse. He is quiet as a mouse. I repeat, he is quiet as a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. And now there are people who are saying, oh, they may have, they saw Hicken traveling to Miami. And now even if your visa is revoked, you can still get an in-transit visa depending on the nature of the travel. So if somebody's visa is revoked, like some of them in the PPP regime, they got their visas revoked. And Irfan Ali filled out an application for them to travel as security. We know that Kush, that cricketer, got his visa revoked many years ago, but he came up recently with Irfan Ali. And now Irfan Ali has to say whether he came up as a security or under what circumstances. But lots of things are happening, guys. Lots of things. Now back to this Kunumunu. Irfan Ali. After returning from Brooklyn, he rushed on television, and he was upset at every level. But now we're not seeing, not a live, not an address to the nation, because the sanction, someone who was very close to Irfan Ali, who was there every step of the way with Irfan Ali at his inauguration, well, supposedly, and then who gave him some vehicles and all these manner of things, according to information, mind you. All these things. Look at what has happened now. Look at the sanctions. Sanctions upon sanctions. An official of his so-called government was sanctioned. And not a word from Irfan Ali, not an immediate press conference, nothing. I just reminded you guys of what he did when he returned from Brooklyn, from the US to Guyana, right away, 10 o'clock in the night. 10 o'clock in the night. He's barking at the nation. You guys remember that, right? But now he's quiet. Oh, he's quiet. But guess what they did, though? They don't want to talk. They issued some sort of statement. They issued a statement. This is the statement they issued, guys. Where's our operator? Good. Look at this statement. The corrupt government of Guyana press statement. The corrupt government of Guyana press statement for immediate release. This is what these vagabonds are saying. Quote, the government of Guyana has taken careful note of a press release issued by the United States Department of Treasury on June 11, 2024, which informed of 3 Guyanese nationals and entities as being sanctioned by the Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. OFAC. Quite fitting. Some of you look at that and you say, oh, fuck. OFAC, mind you, which is the Office of Foreign Assets Control. OFAC. You guys can pronounce it. I don't want to keep pronouncing it. But that is based on information referenced in the press release. The Ministry of Finance and relevant statutory agencies, including the Guyana Revenue Authority, will be requesting additional information. Now, I know you guys want me to look at your comments, right? Check this out. A corrupt government, as the PPP is known to be, is telling us that he, Irfan Ali, that they have requested the relevant agencies such as the Guyana Revenue Authority and other agencies will be requesting additional information on the matters highlighted with a view to aiding local law enforcement agencies. Now, wait a minute. Can we get the donkey? Do you think people are that foolish? Irfan Ali, where are you? Can we bring him in and put him in the middle of the class and ask him this question? Do you think people are foolish? Do you think that the majority of Guyanese are foolish? Do you think that they are dunstogs? That they can't read between the lines? Now, with all these years, Irfan Ali, let us put aside the 23 corrupt years of the PPPC and the fact that you guys were sanctioned overseas, couldn't even pass the money laundering bill and all these different things. Didn't even want a DEA office there. Nothing at all, because you guys had a lot to hide. Now, put aside the 23 years. You have been installed for 4 years now. You haven't done anything to investigate anyone. You haven't done anything to investigate your friends. You haven't done anything to investigate cronies of the PPP regime, so-called businessmen who are part of the private sector commission and who are also part of your installed government. You haven't done anything. Instead, what you have done, you have loosed members of the Guyana police force to go after citizens. You have loosed, under your administration, the some senior members of the Guyana police force have been persecuting citizens, wrongful arrest, wrongful incarceration, you name it, and that's it. They go into people's homes without search warrants or anything of that sort. So Irfan Ali needs to shut up because nobody's buying this here. So suddenly, this thing here has been exposed, and his friend, Azruddin Mohammed and the Mohammeds are his friends. He cannot run away from that. So all these years, let us say for the 4 years, there was no investigations of anyone, whether it's the Azruddin Mohammed, regardless of, there has not been any investigations of individuals who are alleged to be part of crimes. That is according to international law enforcement agencies who have identified several persons, and Irfan Ali and his administration have failed to act. They have failed to act. And here it is now, Irfan Ali wants to tell us that he is serious, or his government is serious. Now, let's go back to the part of this so-called press release. And this is laughable. He's saying that based on the information referenced in the press release, the Ministry of Finance and relevant statutory agencies in Guyana, including the Guyana Revenue Authority, will be requesting additional information on the matters highlighted with a view to aiding local law enforcement agencies. Absolutely garbage, rubbish. Do you think those international law enforcement agencies will trust Acting Commissioner of Police Hicken or other senior members of the Guyana Police Force who have only been focusing on targeting and persecuting innocent citizens? Thank you, Miss Bess. Rubbish. Dotishness. Nobody's stupid. At least we have, for the most part, we do not have silly people watching this show. So nobody's buying that from you, Irfan Ali. No one is buying that from you. You guys are ashamed. You have been caught with your pants down. And this is just the beginning of other real information by law enforcement agencies overseas. Not makeshift information or investigation, makeshift investigation. We got to focus on what we are seeing here now. And the evidence is what it is. Now, let's continue. Irfan Ali is saying the government of Guyana takes very seriously the claims contained in the press release and will continue to engage relevant United States entities on these matters. In the meantime, let us not get to that as yet. Let us not get to that. Who are these folks fooling? Who are they fooling? Let me take you guys back to this here. You heard of these allegations, right? You all remember that Vice News was down there, and this reporter was down there today again. This reporter, right? This reporter came down to Guyana and did an investigation that included Sue and others. Sue alleged that they had to pay this guy millions upon millions of dollars. There was no investigations. The police wasn't concerned about that. SOCU, which is the Special Organized Crime Unit, wasn't concerned about that. It was swept under the rug, and that was the end of the matter. But Irfan Ali wants us to believe that they are going to investigate this matter here with his friend, the Mohammeds. That is what he wants us to believe, right? Oh, give us a break, Irfan. Give us a break. All along, you weren't concerned about your friend, the Mohammeds. You weren't concerned about them at all. You attended races wherever it is. You're there. You're having fun. You turn a blind eye to whatever. You know what I mean? You give them $1 billion contracts and maybe other contracts, The $1 billion contract was for the fire station. You weren't concerned about anything. You weren't concerned about what law enforcement agencies, particularly in the US, had to say and had to whisper. You weren't concerned about that. And then there was this opportunity to invest in the gas to shore with Exxon and all these different things. You weren't concerned about that. You weren't concerned about allegations that the Mohammeds gave you several vehicles when on your inauguration day. You weren't concerned about that, right? No, 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 no. You weren't concerned about that. But suddenly, you're pretending as though you're concerned and you want U.S. law enforcement agencies to give you information, what is it? To support the local law enforcement agencies in Guyana and provide them with evidence. Now, wait a minute. Let me take a look at some of your comments. Do you think law enforcement agencies in the US or maybe in Canada or maybe in the UK, do you think that they're so gullible that they're going to put all of it, here, Jack, they like to show letters. Do you think they're going to put all of the evidence in an envelope, a big envelope or envelope, however you guys, and give it and say, here, Acting Commissioner of Police, here, James Singh from Kanu, here is Karim Baksh from Soku, here is Hikin from the Guyana Police Force, and say, take this. This is all the evidence that we have. What do you think they're going to do? Irfan Ali, they're going to take, and Jack Day, and these vagabonds in the PPP, they will take the evidence and they will share it with their friends. That is what they will do. They will share the information. Share it, as Trump would say. Share it. They will share the information. So no one in law enforcement agencies, I think, no one in law enforcement agencies, any law enforcement agency in the US has any respect or confidence in these individuals. That is why they have to find ways to, like you're going on a highway or on a highway and it's like zigzag. So they have to find ways. They have to reform the extradition laws and all manner of things. Slowly to move in to get who they want. That is what this is about, to get who they want in Guyana, whether it is Jack Dale, whether it is Ali, whether it is Anil. They will find a way to ensure that there is justice. And that is what's happening. Let us not jump on the mountaintop and light a candle and beat drums and so forth, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and start to celebrate just yet. And let us not follow through on frivolous information about this and that. Let us not confuse the situation right now. This is the main event, the main bout that is happening right now. And the evidence is staring all of us. All of us are what we can assume, because these people are not going to just wake up like that and say, blop. And this is according to Travis Chase. These actions, according to the Department of Treasury, as you see there, the elder Mohammed, the younger Mohammed, and the Mohammed friend. She was once the permanent secretary of the Minister of Home Affairs. Now listen to this here. Let's go to this report. These actions were conducted in coordination with Homeland Security's investigations, New York Organized Crime, Drug Enforcement Task Force, Strike Force, Diplomatic Security Service, Customs and Border Protection, Office of Intelligence, New York Operations, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Miami Field Office. Now, isn't it Miami Field Office where a nice big fancy car was shipped into Guyana? That fancy car was held up for a while until it was finally shipped to Guyana, right? And everybody was happy. Look, I got my car. Look, oh, look, all sort of things hired a former FBI guy to go to Guyana and then held a press conference to say, no, 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 no. Everything is okay. My client is clean as a whistle, all manner of things. Oh, he collected his money and he went about his way. Now, look at all these agencies. Back to this. The Miami field office, with assistance from HSI Miami, CBP Miami, and New York field offices, New York City Police Department, Intelligence Bureau, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. All of these all of these agencies, guys. This is not just one agency. All of those agencies. It simply means that these allegations, whatever it is they're alleging, whatever, I don't know, whatever they're alleging, has got to be serious. And they can only have all these investigations, which leads me to probably, let me see here, they could be indictments. They could be scores of indictments, sealed indictments. No, I don't know. I'm just assuming, mind you, that they could possibly be a heck of a lot of indictments against these individuals. And who knows? Now, I don't. I'm just reading between the lines that maybe sometime soon the U.S. will ask those Pacus in Guyana to extradite these people. Now, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe. I'm just trying to read between the lines, mind you. That's all I'm trying to do. Nothing else. And so this would put the government, or the so-called government, in a very, very scary and uncomfortable position. So just watch out. And one of the things that we have to be careful, because in times like these, people, when their backs are against the wall, whoever they are, no one in particular, people will defend and people will become trigger happy. So watch out. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who is going to be trigger happy or not. I'm not suggesting that people should be. But in times like these, people will become trigger happy. Good night to all of you. If you're now joining us, guess what? My name is Mark Benjap. If you're late on this, the Mohammeds accused of under-declaration of gold and evasion of taxes by U.S. Treasury Department. That's just piece of or part of the allegations. Meanwhile, his friend James Bond is saying, hey, bro for life. Need not say no more. Lawyer up. Bro for life. In other words, I ain't giving you up. That's according to Bond. And people have friends. Friends are supposed to stick together. And Bond is saying they're sticking together. Stand by your man. Okay. Bond is standing by his man, saying, bro for life. Need not say no more. Lawyer up. Lawyer up. Well, the cases against the Mohammeds certainly is not for sheep lawyer, coconut thief lawyer, or backdam lawyer, or sheep lawyer. Call for powerful lawyers. And some of these lawyers have to be knowledgeable about the law, extradition, sanctions. Guess what? Guess who was calling for sanctions? Next stage seek, and this was 2019, while they were trying to bully their way and pretend as though they're ready to lead the country, take over the country, and so forth and so on. Hey, karma is something else, Karma is something else. I repeat, karma is something else. Isn't that what we say? Some people don't say something else. Karma is something else. In 2019, look, this is what Jack Dew and these guys were saying. They were begging and they were telling the U.S., oh, sanction them, sanction them. Now look who getting sanctioned. Look who has gotten lots of them have gotten their visas revoked. Lots of them. But Jack Gill isn't going to sit down at his little Dolly House so-called press conference and tell you guys anything. They're not going to. Remember all of them. Priya Manichan describing Granger as a sanctimonious gangster and all manner of things. Meanwhile, the PPP got a bunch of those worse than gangster. But look, it says here, this was 2019. 2019. Next stage is to seek international sanctions against government officials. That is what they were calling for. That is what they were calling for. Sanction. How many of you guys remember that? They were calling for sanction. They should sing a nice chutney or a soca. Sanction money day, sanction money here, sanction money day. No, I'm sorry, I'm not. Do please forgive me. Don't say that you're not going to watch again because of my singing. But sanction under the Granger administration because they wanted their way to get into office so that they can corrupt the whole damn country. And that is what they have done. Within 4 years, they have corrupted the country. And now look, they're talking about sanction people on the Granger administration. Now, boom, look who gets sanctioned. One of their own. She was the permanent secretary within the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now you sanction her, and I'm wondering that if all these allegations, mind you, of corruption as the permanent secretary, with all those allegations of corruption by this woman, you mean to tell me, and let me look you guys straight in the eyes, you mean to tell me that Robeson Ben knew nothing? I repeat, and this is very important. If you know Robeson Ben, some of you, maybe you should ask him. With all the allegations of corruption by this woman, who was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, where Robeson Ben is the Minister of Home Affairs, and he knew nothing? And nothing? I mean, do you guys, let me see your comments, guys. Come on. He knew nothing? Does he travel? We hardly see him traveling. So maybe he should tell us whether he travels or not to the US. But isn't it hard to believe that this woman was permanent secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs? And according to the allegations, there was massive level of corruption when it came to, handing out of contracts and so forth. Do you think, guys, now let's be reasonable. Where's my glasses? Do you think that she gave out all of those contracts to, let's say, Azruddin Mohammed or whomever else? But in this case, the allegation is corruption between herself and the Mohammeds. That's the allegation, mind you. Remember that $1 billion contract that the Mohammeds got for the fire station, the fire headquarters? Come on, guys. Do you guys believe that this woman, who was the permanent secretary within the Ministry of Home Affairs, do you think she has that power to award a contract for almost $1 billion to the Mohammeds or whomever else? Do you think she has that power? And do you think she could take and sign a contract, let's say, with the Mohammeds them? Just like that. Because she and the Mohammeds are friends. They went out duck hunting together, shooting together. Whatever it is, they went out along with her fiancé, who lives in the US, mind you. And he might also be under the microscope. Might. I don't know. He might be under the microscope of US federal law enforcement agencies. But $1 billion contract, do you guys think she has that power? Y'all really think she has all of that power? Think again. Forget about the procurement commission and all these kind of things, procurement board and those nonsense. Forget about that. It doesn't work. And so in order for anybody to get $1 billion contract, they had to have gotten the green light from either Irfan Ali or Jack Deere. And in this case, there's a high possibility that they got the green light from Irfan Ali. $1 billion contract. Just like that. Now, she might not. She may have done some other stuff too. May have. Her name is may have. Who knows? I'm not saying I'm sitting here and that I'm saying that she has. But there's serious allegations being leveled against her. Very serious allegations. Ian Harry, we're talking, and he says she pretty and who pretty. Hey, Guyanese and easy, you know. Good night to you, Ian Harry. And at the end of the day, because I've seen some comments, they want to make her basically a scapegoat. They want to make her the fall gal in this. But no. She's just not the fall gal. I'm not going to buy into that. Now, they could be. You guys know that there's those CCTV cameras around Georgetown and other places. Do you know that there are phones? People have phones. Forget my old phone. That you can zoom in and see what's going on at the Palm Court right now. That you can zoom in on those CCTV cameras and see what is happening. And if something happens at a particular spot, let us say some murder happened at the Palm Court, you can go into that camera and manipulate it. You can erase it or whatever. You can erase whatever you want. And that phone, that device was a serious device. They get some people who ought not to be in possession of that. Some very unscrupulous individuals, some so-called businessmen, are in possession of that. They have access to the CCTV cameras. And now, I don't know whether this woman facilitated any of them. I don't know. I don't know whether she gave her fiancé or her husband access to one of those phones. I don't know. I'm just asking you guys whether you knew or not. But right now in Guyana, it is dangerous. Dangerous, Bernadette James. Good night. It is dangerous, Sandra Hanover. And Pre hanging with us for a while. And Mushu, Shikman, Chinkman, and all kind of, right? Dangerous times in Guyana. Some people will become trigger happy. Some people will become trigger happy. And then not so long ago, moving away from this for a moment, not so long ago, we heard that a senior officer of the Guyana Police Force, another one, was pulled in for fitness. Caesar, who is part of CID, the crime unit, was pulled in and was questioned for quite a while. Now, here's a question I want to ask you guys. Do you think law enforcement agencies in the U.S. are going to just pull you in and question you just like that for an hour or 2 hours and so forth? Question you when you're leaving, when you come back into the country, and all of these things? A senior police officer? And he's not the first that has been questioned. Certainly not the first. Why? And since he was questioned, have you seen or heard anything publicly from him or about him after that? Remember when at a press conference Jack Deere was asked, Jagdev says when he comes back into the country, he will write a report. Now, can somebody ask whether that report was sent? And if so, what was it? And if so, again, Mr. Caesar, did he get his US visa revoked? Nobody knows. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. Absolutely no one knows. We get some stuff coming in. Some guys get caught with drugs and machine guns and all sort of things. And guess who they're hanging out with? Guess who they're posing with? They're posing with Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali, guys. We'll take a quick break. I need a glass of water. Don't go anywhere. Refill your popcorn basin or whatever. And tag this guy. Yeah, let him listen. Tag him. Let him listen. We'll be right back.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis E. Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man.
All right, welcome back to Straight Up. Guess what? I'm Mark Benchop, and lots of things happening in Guyana. Guyana is going down the drain, further down the drain under these corrupt vagabonds. And we're told also, mind you, we're told that this guy has a bank account in China, a hefty, huge bank account in China. Oh, yeah, a huge bank account in China. Maybe at his press conference, he can talk about that. He can talk about that. He can talk about that. All right. So, hey, guess what now? You guys heard about this case, right? Where is this case? There's this guy, pistol, 830 live, 7.62 ammunition, 4 live, .223 ammunition, 9 live, 9 mm, whatever, 1 AK-47 magazine, 3 Glock magazine, ecstasy, a quantity of ecstasy, 107 grams of cocaine, and 544.3 grams of cannabis. The suspect was told of the offenses committed, arrested, and cautioned. A team from CID, a team from CID headquarters processed all articles found. The suspect is presently in custody. Investigations continue. Look at that. Look at that guy. Take a look at that guy. And then I'll show you another picture. Let me see if you guys identify him and who else you identify in this picture. We'll play the song, Lemon. Let's go. Play the song, please, while you identify folks in that picture.
Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Evil.
All right. So you see this photograph here. Irfan Ali's in the photograph. Irfan Ali is right there in the photograph. He's right there in the photograph. You can't miss him. He's right there. You guys see that, right? Right there in the photograph. The one in the red t-shirt is the guy who got arrested here. All the guns and drugs and so forth, according to the police. He is the guy in the middle here. In the red. Right next to Irfan Ali with his thumbs up. And I believe that could possibly be, is it State House or wherever? I don't know. But this guy is right there with Irfan Ali. Right there. Guys, read between the lines. Read between the lines, guys. Understand what is happening in Guyana. And what is happening in Guyana now is no different than when Jack Dale was officially president. This guy, Mark Kazurki, and check who he was in at State House posing with. Barra Jack Dale. Look at Mark Kazurki there in the white t-shirt. Look at Mark Kazurki there with Jack Dale at State House. Look at Mark Kazurki there right now, and all the weapons, all the guns. Look at what is in his hand. He was charged for the murder of, the murders of Shafiq Bacchus and his brother George Bacchus. He was charged with Sean Hines and Ashton King. And those guys, you remember Ashton King, the owner of A&D Funeral Parlor. All right. Well, that's who Jack Dale was posing with. That's who Jack Dale was hanging out with. And now take a look, years later, take a look, nothing has changed. This guy, not charged. The police claim that these are the things they found, the AK-47, all manner of things. Take a look, drugs and everything. And take a look at who is he hanging out with? He's in the red. Who is he hanging out with? Who? Come on, guys. And then Irfan Ali is going to tell you guys. Irfan Ali is going to tell you guys. That's right, Tony Hack. He's from Kitty. Irfan Ali is going to tell you guys that he wants law enforcement agencies in the U.S. to share information with them. Come on. Irfan Ali is telling you guys that he wants the U.S. law enforcement agencies to share information with them, with the police force headed by Hicken. You've got to be kidding me. Law enforcement agencies should be very, 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 very careful with what they share with the Guyana police force and what they share with Irfan Ali or Jack Deere. Be very careful with what you do. Guyana is a dangerous place, guys. It is very dangerous as a result of these vagabonds who are in office. They are nothing but a bunch of vagabonds. Take a look again. Yes? Take a look. They love. Remember when President Granger attended, I believe, or he was opposition leader, he attended the funeral service of Shaquille Grant, who the police shot and killed in Agricola. Well, David Granger, who was opposition leader then, attended the funeral, and all manner of things. They say, oh, look at Granger, who he's with. He's attending funerals and all these things. Remember the situation with Blackie London, who was murdered by members of the Black Clothes as he walked out of the Toucan Hotel in, where is it again, in Eccles. He put his hands up in the air and they murdered him. And so they never forgive. They always say that Desmond Hoyt went to the funeral at Copy Square and all manner of things. But these guys are not going to tell you who they're associating with. Oh, no, they're not going to tell you guys that. They pretend as though they're angels, right? Now, look at this young man. All the ammunitions, the drugs and things, police allege that they found him with. Irfan Ali, guys. Irfan Ali is comfortable, quite comfortable. Guyana is not, and I repeat, guys, Guyana is not a safe place. It is dangerous under the PPP regime. It is the reason why on elections time, you've got to vote these vagabonds out of office. They've got to go. You've got to vote them out of office. No time to pussyfoot around. Vote them out of office. Nobody is comfortable. Nobody is safe in Guyana under the PPP regime. Under the coalition, we saw fresh air. Guyana and Guyanese began to breathe again. And now look at what's happening in the country. Billions and billions of dollars of oil revenue, and people are suffering in that country as a result, Afraz, Usman, as a result of corruption, massive corruption. Now, here is where I'm going to say that if the Mohammeds want less time, if they're going to be serving time, if the extradition warrant will be issued for them, or if extradition warrants will be issued for them. Now, I don't know. I'm saying this, I don't know. But whether extradition warrants will be issued for them, and whether indictments, sealed indictments, with serious charges, serious allegations of serious crimes, terrorism, to money laundering, to drugs, to murder, whether those indictments, whether they are indictments. Now, I'm asking a question whether they are indictments, mind you. So if they are indictments, then what will follow the indictments? It will be extradition. Are we about to see extradition requests sent to Guyana? Are we about to see that? Keep your fingers crossed, guys. You never know. You just never know. All right. What else it is that we can... It's just not a safe place, guys. You've got to be careful. All eyes are on the people who have done business, large-scale business, people who may be doing PR for these guys. You never know, right? Again, I'm just saying, all eyes are on those individuals. Simple as that. All right. So, hey, guess what? I'm going to rush out of here. Be careful with the information that you get. Let us focus on one story at a time. This is not about jumping and dancing around the place and flip-flopping on issues. Let us focus on one story at a time. This is big. This is huge. And the very people who call for the Granger government and officials to be sanctioned, look what has happened to the PPP. Look what has happened to the PPP. Just take a look. What happened to the PPP? As I close off with you guys this evening, be careful with information that you receive. Be careful with propaganda, because propaganda can confuse the entire situation. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Be careful with propaganda. Let's focus on one story at a time. And this here we see coming from a legitimate agencies in the US. Now, pause for a moment and ask this question. Forget about Critic. Critic shouldn't be talking about these folks. He shouldn't. Because maybe he can explain why they never gave him a US visa. I don't know, mind you. But he got to explain. He can't be jumping up and laughing. He cannot, and he should not. At this point in time, he cannot and he should not. Story done. I will be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. God bless you all.
Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow.
Take the message, everybody.
Take warning.
Yeah, my name is Jasmine Caldata, Francis E. Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the color. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore on the moon. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
Hey fans, it's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton. Dance to the magical songs of yesteryear by popular DJs and Camps Audio. Admission is free. Come out, let's make memories at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Here in Guyana.
Here in Guyana? You see them advantage why you take for them people and they give some square peg contract and they can't sign them name? What? You see them advantage why you take for them people and they give some square peg contract and they can't sign them name? You see what's going on with the project them right now? Thanks for going on. The project them is they got no standard, cheap material. Some of you contractor them in this region here can't read them right. They can't read on inch in imperial measurement. They will do it in metric. They can't do that. You full them up with contract. They buy tundra, they buy truck, they buy excavator, them start eat food, then get big and fat. You know, them thing wrong. And the people who can do the work, now get the work. None of them mechanics can beat me and my son for work in the street here. Bring them up. None of them. And the community knows that, and they're giving us work. And you got them scrapping the government bike, the government tractor. You got them scrapping there. Go to the RDC, you're going to see.